Welcome to the podcast. I'm one of your hosts.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings. I'm one of your hosts, Tomcat, aka Tom Thompson.
Is that what your name is, though? Is that actually what your name is?
Who else do I have?
Anton. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, everybody out there? We are creeping towards the Halloween season, and for the next little while, you are going to get nothing but Halloween, you could say, style episodes.
It's just a few short weeks away, folks, so, getting the spooky season, getting the spooky spirit, and...
Yes. That's the whole plan.
It's creepy.
It's going to be nothing but strange and creepy topics from now on to get your butthole greased for the insertion of the pumpkin. That is going to happen.
Yeah, so don't clench. It only makes it worse.
Yeah. And this is a very special episode. I wanted to talk about this stuff for a while. I had this ready to go. I have a Clamato Caesar.
You have chlamydia Caesar? That's
jalapeno style.
Bro, don't you fucking have universal health care there? Can't you go get your chlamydia Caesar taken care of?
Never had chlamydia. At least I don't know that I have.
You just said you have a chlamydia Caesar.
Clamato.
Chlamydia, yeah. That's what I heard.
And I got your favorite coffee drink.
What's that?
It's the espresso martini fizz, the one I had before.
God, you're an alcoholic.
Yes, because it's a long weekend for me, but not for you, so it's okay.
Yeah, I know. I got fucking tore up last night.
What'd you do?
Just went for a bike ride, and my buddy gave me a couple jars of moonshine, so I drank those with.
While you were biking around?
Uh-huh.
You're a maniac.
What are you talking about? That's what we do. We drink and bike.
You drink fucking toilet water moonshine while biking.
Toilet water? No, it was very tasty apple pie moonshine. It wasn't even really that strong either, so I don't know if moonshine was but then we went to play pool, and...
You just got drunk all night?
Everything I got drunk at the latter half of the night, and then got home at 2, and I should have stopped drinking 4 or 5 drinks before I stopped, but it was fine.
We were supposed to record hours ago, but it's okay.
I know.
I'll kill him. I'll kill him dead. With a rock or something. Like a stone.
Like a stone. Oh man, I love Kung Fu fucking Pao. I did save the I am Betty fucking sound effect. Why is your air conditioning on? It is fucking September. It's not hot.
It's still very hot in this September because global warming.
Yes, exactly. Eat your bugs and butt chug your water. All right, so let's get into it, everybody. A deathbed confession is the admittance or confession when someone is nearing death or on their deathbed, quotations. This confession may help alleviate any guilt, regrets, secrets, or sins that the dying person may have had in life. The confessions can occur because the dying persons want to live the last moments of their life free of any secrets they have been holding in for a portion or their entire life. Any secrets you got to confess right now, Anton?
I'm not actually here right now.
Where are you?
I'm dead.
You're dead! That's how you die! I used ninja focus to slow my heart rate down.
That worked actually really well.
A deathbed confession could be given to anyone, but a family member is usually there with a loved one, obviously, during this time. Doctors and nurses can also hear deathbed confessions because they're often present in the last person's last moments of their life, because usually they're injecting it with some sort of poison or putting a pillow over their face.
You need a cricket. You need a cricket button for when you make really stupid jokes.
I do.
Nice delay. Which, if you think about it, it's kind of fucked up to put that on just a random nurse where you're like, by the way, I've eaten 4 children in my lifetime. And they're like, why are you telling me this?
I know. And well, either way, right? It does happen. Nurses, there's those angels of death nurses. And
we're not talking about them. That's a whole different show. We're talking about people that are just dumping their fucking life you know, their life bullshit onto a random nurse that's like, dude, I'm just a nurse. Like, why are you burdening me with this bullshit?
Shit? It's very true. It's very true.
So what do you do?
I'm into murders and executions mostly.
Pretty much. That's what my whole life is based on. Murders and executions are my favorite thing in the world.
Did you hear that Charles Ng's death sentence has been upheld?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be an episode for another time, too.
Yeah, it's not going to happen for a long time, though, as
No.
long as Newsom is governor of California. He put a stay on all executions, but it's not like with Charles Manson, how they redacted the death penalty, and then that's how he got off death row. So it's just like a stay, almost.
Strange. It's
So
just
they
like,
just
kill
announced
him or
that,
don't, figure it out.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
stupid.
I'm not pro death penalty, so.
I'm, I don't know, maybe if they're the petos. You see how
I'm still not pro death penalty because you cannot prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that somebody did something. So
what if you catch them with the fucking knife in their hand while they're murdering 5 children?
I mean, I guess that's different.
In the act.
I guess in that extraordinarily unlikely of situations, sure, that's different. But at that point, just shoot them on the spot. What's the problem?
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that. So I guess it was a couple weeks ago at this point, the Pope came to Canada, right? To like apologize for the indigenous people.
Oh, that was like fucking 2 months ago, dude.
It would have been about a month at this point, I would think. I guess couple weeks.
No, that was July that happened.
Was it July?
It was fucking July, dude. That's
I guess it was the end of July, yeah.
Yeah.
And they paid him $34 million to come down here and apologize to the indigenous people. And then meanwhile, people get shit on when they wear headdresses, but the indigenous people put a headdress on the Pope. And there was people like, what the fuck, man?
Do you really think that the Pope got paid $34 million? What the fuck is the Pope going to do with an extra $34 million?
You can supposedly look it up. Yeah.
They literally have the largest fucking like hoard of treasure in the entire world.
They're saying they paid $34 million for his flight, for where he stayed, like all the commodities that they brought him over here.
Fucking piece of shit takes a vow of poverty, and they paid $34 million.
You can
Fuck
look it
the
up.
church.
I know that's what I'm saying. Fuck the Catholic Church. Honestly. It's so we're come here to apologize. We're gonna pay for everything. And it's just
apologize to my fucking dingleberries, you cunt.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like it so drives me crazy. It's just like, all right, why do we have royal family? Why do we have fucking people like the Pope now in the modern day society? What the fuck are you smoking on?
Oh, my Lebowski bowl.
Oh, it's like that's fucking so pin, awesome.
Yeah, let's
fucking.
So if you
it's like a bowl for all the listeners, yeah.
Yeah, so for our viewers, if you Tom, you've seen The Big Lebowski, right?
Yeah, one of my favorite films.
So you remember when the cops are taking his report about the car and they're sitting in his living room?
Yeah.
The one cop picks this up out of the fucking ashtray.
Oh yeah.
And looks at it and then puts it back down. So I got it for my birthday the one year. My dad was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I was like, "I don't know, dude's bowl." He's like, "Oh, I can get that."
And he got it for you?
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh, damn, I don't have it. Whatever. Damn it. All right, well, let's get into it.
Oh yeah. He's dead, all right.
It's all coming together. That is, I hate Disney, but that's one of my favorite Disney movies. Also, I finally started watching The Boys.
I've heard that's good. I gotta watch What We Do in the Shadows. I'm getting through
Yes, you do. You're fucking like a decade late to the party there, Chief.
I know. I'm enjoying it a lot. Chelsea not so much, but I don't know if she understands humor.
Really? Chelsea doesn't like it?
She's just not a huge fan of the vampire shit. It's not a huge. It's just like, yeah. When we watched Dracula outside, she was quite bored, but the original Dracula is quite boring. I find Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, why wouldn't you watch the Werner Herzog fucking
I got the 8 film thing collection of the Hammer films, like a bunch of them. That was fucking dope. And then so tonight we're gonna do a spooky backyard thing. I'm gonna actually do a high dose of mushrooms, probably 2-3 grams, and we're gonna watch a Phantasm.
3 grams. Stop being a bitch and just eat an eighth.
I know. Then I'll be like, what do we watch? I was going to watch Hush.
The extra half gram is really going to send you over the edge.
That's true. So I was going to watch Hush, but I was like, I feel like that'd freak me out too much. So we're going to do The Fog and Phantasm. Just some kind of fun.
Do you want some advice?
Sure.
Okay. Take it from somebody who's watched some silly shit on some drugs, okay?
Yeah.
Watching movies while tripping is gonna fucking completely change the movie. Like, for example, Meet the Feebles. I watched Meet the Feebles tripping balls on about an eighth of mushrooms, and it was not a good time. It was very depressing, and it's a funny movie. It's a fucked up, funny, like weird movie, and it's all puppets. It's all puppets. Yeah. But at the end of it, like my buddy and I who were tripping, because we were hanging out, and he's like, "Yo, let's trip." I was like, "Okay, cool. You want to go camping? Let's fucking go out in the woods and just, trip." And he's like, "No, let's watch Meet the Feebles." And then as soon as it was over, he just turns to me and goes, "I'm sorry."
Why do we do this?
Yeah, because like most of the time he's like sitting there with his hoodie scrunched up, looking through a hole, and he's just like, that's like sitting in his cone of shame. I'm like, dude, this was a horrible idea.
I'm interested because it'll be fun because I'll be in nature, right? But it'll be interesting.
You'll be in a backyard.
I'm gonna be freaked out though for sure because the
fog might be cool.
I
watch
know.
On mushrooms. That's gonna freak you the fuck out.
And Phantasm's fucking weird.
I love Phantasm. It's such a strange series.
And I already know, like, I want to watch the first one, so then me and Chelsea can watch the second one together. Because I've only seen really the first one. I made bits and pieces of other ones. So now that I got the collection, I kind of want to watch them all.
They go up to. They get real unhinged after a while.
Yeah. I'm sure. And I tried to watch Hellraiser 4 and 5 recently. Horrible, atrocious films. Yeah. Just so bad.
Because that's when they just started taking noir films and inserting Hellraiser into them. Because they're like, oh, let's extend the fucking copyright.
This is called Funk Master.
Wait, put it back up. I'm gonna take a hit. That's funky, man. That's funky.
It tastes delicious too. It tastes like kind of like sherbet or something. I'm just gonna
take a hit together. Ready? All you listeners out there at home, toke up. I don't care if you're driving.
Toke up. It's fucking.
I don't care if you're in church. I don't care if you're with your grandma in the hospital. Toke up right now.
Fuck yeah, because you know what?
Hey, you want to get high, man?
Does Howdy Doody got wooden balls, man?
In 2015, a 91-year-old British man living in Canada confessed to murdering a woman outside a nightclub in Carnaby Street, Soho, UK. Soho, in 1946. This is considered the longest period between a crime and a confession in British criminal history.
Oh, wow.
The unidentified man, which I guess they don't want to identify him, which is strange. The unidentified man offered the confession at a Canadian police station right after he was diagnosed with cancer. Canadian officers informed the British police, who promptly sent an investigator to interrogate the man. The victim was a prostitute whose name the British man could not recall. It's just like, I killed so many of them, I can't really remember. However, he remembered that he had shot her in the head with a pistol. It's like, I didn't know what to do with her, and I shot her in the head.
My God.
When British officers showed him pictures of several women, the man identified his victim. She had been a 26-year-old prostitute called Margaret Cook. Police had never arrested a suspect in Cook's murder. Even though the man had remained in Britain for 5 years before relocating to Canada, Canadian police offered to extradite the man to the UK. However, Canadian judges refused to honor the extradition because the man was too old. They also thought the trial was unnecessary because he was going to die anyway, and they've now solved the murder.
I mean, yeah, at that point in time, aren't you really just wasting resources for like some sort of like illusion of justice?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's just like, it's kind of pointless, especially at that age where it's just like, they're dead. They're on their deathbed. They're old enough anyway. Once you get past, like, I feel like 80, it's just like, leave the guy alone. There's no point of putting him in jail.
Yeah.
So we got another one in 9. So we're going to go through all these different deathbed confessions. I don't know. This may come back later on Strange Brew because there is so many. And we'll talk about deathbed confessions when we talk about Tupac's living in Cuba, and the cop on his deathbed said that he got paid $1.2 million to fake Tupac's death.
If you think about it too, like it's a very weird thing to confess to something that you didn't do on your deathbed.
Yeah.
That's fucking strange.
Yeah.
What's the motivation?
What would you do?
I get if you're confessing to something that you've done and you've like have the the religious thing in your head or the spiritual or faith thing in your head, and you're like, I have to absolve myself of this before I die, in which case you get like a priest or whatever. But like, what? But like, what
But
would
yeah.
be the whole point other than being like mentally unwell or delusional or anything like that? What would be the point of being like,
There
by the
wouldn't be no
way,
point.
I actually inherited JFK's penis?
Yeah. It's just
Like,
like this. That's why I said about the flat Earth stupid conspiracy. It's just like, okay, all these astronauts are lying, all of them, and we've had deathbed confessions about aliens and all this crazy shit. Like Erner von Braun or whatever the fuck you pronounce his
once
name.
the rockets are up, who cares where they come down? It's not my department, said Werner von Braun.
So like, okay, so you have like these people that confess that like when they think, why isn't there some dude on his deathbed being like, the Earth's flat, I saw it, man, I saw it, it's fucking flat.
See, that's the thing, is that there probably are. That shit probably happens constantly, and no one just gives a fuck. Everyone's just like, okay, shut up. Go, just
it better
die,
not be
please.
flat.
Oh my god, Tom, if you're that's when I leave the show.
Yeah.
If you become a flat tard.
That's never going to happen. I'm not going to do that. I will believe that the Earth is a globe and hollow until I die, or it's a simulation, which, like I said, doesn't matter anyway. Probably not.
If it's a
We're actually
simulation, though, it means that it can change and be flat. Actually, if it's a simulation, that means that it's neither flat nor round. It's just numbers.
Yes, exactly. And who fucking knows, really? Because I don't know. And as I keep saying, when we die, we'll find out what the fuck the truth is about all this fucking bullshit.
Or we won't.
Shit, I'm gonna die, man. That stuff's gonna make me die, man.
In July 19...
Look, I ain't never smoked no dope like that before in my life, man.
You just took the most acid I've ever seen any man take.
I hope we're not busy for like a month.
In July 1995, firefighters discovered the charred remains of a woman in an empty house in Nashville, Tennessee. Police later identified the woman as 35-year-old Joyce Goodner, who had been stabbed and beaten to death. Afterwards, the murderer had placed her body in a rug before setting it on fire. That's nice. Police arrested James Washington for the murder. He knew Joyce, and Evie admitted that he saw her on the day she died. However, the police could not pin the murder on him because there was no DNA evidence at the crime scene. Things changed in 2009 when James Washington suffered a heart attack while serving a 15-year sentence for attempted murder. Fearing he was going to die, Washington called by the nearby guard, James Tomlinson, to confess to the 1995 murder. Come here, James. I gotta tell you something. Come here. I killed that bitch. Things went south when things went south for Washington when his heart attack didn't prove fatal. Tomlinson informed the authorities about the confession. Washington was charged actually for the murder, and Washington recanted the confession and claimed he was hallucinating at the time. Unfortunately, it was too late. He confessed to murder and was convicted for it and sentenced to a life imprisonment.
How fucked would it be if they're like, death? It's like, are you fucking serious? I gotta retrieve just to get convicted. Like,
so true, so fucked up too that he's like,
that would
shit.
To me, that would almost be evidence of actual karma at work in the world.
Shit, that I didn't say that. No, you didn't hear me.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it. No, I thought I was gonna die.
In 1991, after years of domestic violence, Geraldine. That's a fucking. What did I say the first time? That's a bad pronunciation. In 1991, after years of domestic violence, Geraldine Kelly was shot and killed her husband and stored his body in a freezer at their home in Ventura, California. That's pretty fucked. I gotta say. Like, fucking put her husband in a fucking freezer. It's like, I've had a fucking enough of this shit.
I mean, I guess
a few drinks. You might want to buckle up.
I mean, I guess everyone has their breaking point, and women who snap tend to get gruesome with it.
She told her kids that their father died in a car accident.
Well, she's probably not going to tell them that she killed him.
7 years later, when she decided to move back to Somersville, Massachusetts, they hate when I say that. Massachusetts. We had a listener that said that he hates the way I say Massachusetts.
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 Look. Massachusetts.
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 Massachusetts. All right. She had the moving company move the freezer with the body inside, and they drove it across country to a local storage facility in Somerville. And maybe it's Somerville. It's spelled Sommer, but
Do you pronounce it midsummer or midsommar?
I say midsummer because of you.
Yeah, because
You
that's how
made
it's
me
spelled.
say it.
Because that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. And tell that to fucking French Canadians with their stupid words that don't make sense how they pronounce it.
Oh, it's because they're speaking French Canadian.
In 2004, 13 years after the murder, Kelly was gravely ill with breast cancer and confessed to her daughter that she had killed their father, claiming he had abused her for years, then told her where to find his body. Hey, Susie, come here. I was getting real sick right now, okay? I don't know if I don't know how many years I got left, but your father, yeah, mommy died in the car accident, right? No, I killed him. I put him in a freezer. You want to go see the freezer?
I would assume if you're deathbed confessing, you don't have years left to live. You might have weeks at most. So,
yeah, it's true. So you're ready to go.
doctor's like, you have 5 years to live, and you're like, let me go confess to all these crimes that are going to make my last 5 years miserable.
Authorities investigated and found human remains in the locked, unplugged freezer in the storage room. That would fucking reek. That would fucking reek.
Oh, I thought she at least had the. Oh
man, that would fucking that'd be so gross.
That's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
What the fuck? So crazy. And it's crazy, but the body was mummified, but identified as John Kelly based on distinctive tattoos he was known for, including a panther, a Cupid doll. What the fuck is a Cupid doll? What the fuck is a Cupid doll?
The little plastic doll. They usually put them in those Mardi Gras cakes.
Don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's strange. I don't know what a Cupid doll is.
Somebody had to explain it to me too, because I've heard the expression so many times. I'm like, what the fuck is a Cupid doll?
Who gets that tattooed on them?
Google it really quick. You'll see it.
A Cupid doll. Yeah. Everyone look this up. That's on the audio. If you don't know what it is, because I clearly don't. A Cupid doll.
You're gonna look at it and be like, oh, that's what those are called.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why would he have that tattooed on him?
So Cupid doll is in the hanky code. It means something in early gay cruising communities.
So this guy was gay. Yo, he was gay, and she fucking murdered his ass because she caught him sucking dick. That's what actually happened.
Doll.
That's what actually happened.
It's about to get strange, motherfucker.
That's what happened. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what happened, man. Why would he have that tattoo anyway? And he's got a fucking panther, this doll that clearly indicates that he's gay, and then a skull. So that's how they could identify him. His skull's probably had a cigar smoking on it. The cause of death was a gunshot to the back of the head. Interesting fact, the district attorney of Somerville said it wasn't clear if Kelly wanted to unburden herself or if she wanted her children to know. So if they found the body, they wouldn't be blamed for it.
Makes sense. Plausible deniability.
It's weird, right?
I can't find the hanky code thing. I got to find my actual copy of the hanky code.
I don't know what a hanky code is. When you said that, I thought it was.
You never seen Cruising?
The Christmas poo. I've never been cruising. No.
No, I'm saying, have you ever seen Cruising with Al Pacino?
No.
It's a murder mystery.
No.
Okay, then never mind. We'll talk about it off air.
I watched Scarface and Devil's Advocate, and that's about it.
That's it.
I've never.
You're gonna sit over there, Thomas, with a straight face, and tell me that you don't know the Pacino movies like I thought you knew them.
That's actually pretty good.
Also, how is The Godfather not in that
list
of Pacino movies you've seen?
And I'll fuck you in your face. You know what's crazy? I love gangster films, and I've seen Godfather once.
That's long. It's great.
Yeah,
it's good,
long.
but it's like whatever. I don't care.
I know. And I was listening to another show that was talking about. I was like, oh, do I need to revisit it? Yes, you are. You fucking.
I think maybe you go ahead. You get you a big old bowl of pasta, huh? And you sit down and watch the fucking Godfather.
I like when Dana Carvey does it in
Master of Disguise.
Yeah, you got two tiny nuts.
So fuck it. Little
It's you and your two
tiny nuts.
So stupid.
Oh my god.
The elderly man claims he committed. There's an elderly man, and he claims he committed an assassination. What am I missing? Something?
You usually are, yeah.
Huh. So this guy claims he was an assassin, and he committed his assassinations between August 1959 and March 1972. At the time when he says the CIA had its own agenda. He says he was part of 2 operative cells of 5 members who carried out political assassinations across the country. Most of his victims were political activists, journalists, and union leaders.
Oh, it was murder. The corporations murdered him.
But he also claims that he killed a few scientists and artists whose ideas represent a threat to the interest of the United States. What artists do you think that he fucking murdered?
Andy Warhol? No, Andy Warhol didn't die from getting shot. Andy Warhol died from something else.
Did he die from AIDS? Or is that just a stereotype?
I think you're being a fucking homophobic piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. It's a joke.
I know.
And at the time when Andy Warhol was a thing, he was definitely on drugs and partying a fuckload.
Oh, dude. So yeah,
I guess
the big drug was speed at the factory, or at the foundation.
I wouldn't mind maybe doing him eventually which we have to get him back into fairly soon, maybe November, is
Warhol died of a heart attack following gallbladder surgery.
Oh, that's a shitty way to die.
Yeah, but he was shot, so it wasn't what his cause of death was though.
So this elderly man was named Mr. Hodges, and Mr. Hodges says that Marilyn Monroe remains unique among his victims, as she was the only woman he ever assassinated.
So he worked for who? The Kennedys?
He said he worked along with the CIA. The CIA had its own agenda, but he worked for the CIA, but wasn't a CIA operative. At least that's what he says. So who knows? It could be full of shit.
Here's the only thing with all the Kennedy stuff. Kennedy was not beloved by the nation until after he was dead.
It's kind of true.
No, it's very true. Like he had he had the people that liked him, but he wasn't really considered a great president. Like a lot of people considered that he was the reason that we almost got into World War III because of the handling of Cuba.
He was pushing, some shady.
No,
shit.
I'm not disagreeing that Kennedy was. I'm not weighing in on what kind of a president Kennedy was. I don't know. I wasn't alive in that time. I have no fucking idea nor way to know.
I like what he says, and I liked his brother and what his brother said, but his brother supposedly has ties with Falsewoods, which was the rigged school shootings to fucking bring an end to guns, according to some shit I read.
Some shit you read.
I don't know. There's a book I read or something that said that he was tied to.
According to this pamphlet this guy handed me at the bus stop, and that's where I get all of my information from. So
conspiracy theory podcast. And I will
yes, we are.
I will stand on the point of the conspiracy until the day I die. Just not flat Earth or the denial of the Holocaust. Okay?
Yeah, get fucked.
He claims he has no regrets. However, he says that she became a threat to security of the country and had to be eliminated. And the FBI arrested the man after he was saying these wild accusations. So that's fucking
strange.
That's real fucking strange.
If this holds any merit and they actually did arrest him, that would have been weird if the FBI actually was like, all right, is this guy confessing to something that because I feel like the FBI shakes hands with the fucking CIA. They're all fucking buddies out there.
Maybe, but also the same thing with the reason why serial killers got away with it for as long as they did. I don't think interdepartmental relationships are all great. The branches of the military don't even like each other. I don't know if you were aware of this in Canada, but we have military rivalries where it's the Marines hate Navy people, fucking hate them. The Air Force thinks every other branch of the military is fucking stupid.
I just feel in the Air Force you have to be more I don't know. They're all pretty intelligent.
No, that's the stereotype. You have to have a high IQ, at least high enough to go into the Air Force.
Yeah.
You don't need a high IQ to go in the Marines. You don't need a high IQ to
No,
go
I
in
thought
the
it's like
Army.
a brutal, like the Marines is like a brutal boot camp though. Like
You think
brutal
people with a
beyond
high
brutal.
IQ sign up for the fucking Marines?
It's true. That's true, but do they get in?
I
I know
to all of our Marine listeners out there. If you're a Mensa scholar and a Marine, please tell me. But
I know for a fact that the boot camp is like beyond brutal. Is that they fucking
of course it is. No, I'm not saying they're not tough. I'm not saying they're not fucking ridiculously
crazy.
like brutal motherfuckers. And I'm sure tactically they're smart, but the stereotype is that they're all just a bunch of gorillas. So.
And the one thing that they did not do is kill Osama bin Laden.
You don't think so?
I do not think so. I believe Osama bin Laden actually died in Bush's era. And so there's a theory. Let's just get into a quick theory. We're talking about Deathbed Confessions. You could kind of say that someone might have said this, but they probably didn't. But that there's the theory, right, that goes that Osama bin Laden probably died of natural causes, and they fucking knew about it. That's like that he just died of dialysis. He was on dialysis, like he just died of kidney failure. Kidney failure. My grandfather was on it, on dialysis for years, and then eventually you decay and you die. And so this is actually what I subscribe to. What I believe is that he died in Bush's era, and the election was coming up anyway, and Bush was already like down the polls, that they had an idea that they were going to bring it out and be like, oh my God, Bush got Osama bin Laden to get his polls like higher in ranking voting and stuff like that. But they thought that it was kind of a waste, so they did it during the Obama administration, because as soon as people stopped liking Obama, oh my God, he found Osama, and then their names rhyme. It's like, this is perfect timing, everybody.
I love that your biggest point of evidence is their names rhyme.
I am the smartest man alive.
You are. You'll get no argument here. Yes,
William Desmond Taylor was a pioneer director in the silent movie era. That's fun. Directing a total of 59 films over an 8-year period. That's a lot of films. It's a lot of films. It is, and that's from 1914 and 8 years, obviously, is like 1922-ish, right? Am I right? Yeah.
Sounds right. Yeah.
However, Taylor's career was dramatically cut short when he was shot in the dead in February 1922. His murder remains unsolved, though the actress Margaret Gibson reportedly confessed to the crime 42 years later.
42 years later, while he's dying.
Well, he's dead. He's been dead for years. While she's dying.
Right.
Margaret Gibson had worked with Taylor in the early part of his career and was 27 at the time of his murder. 40 years after the crime, she reportedly confessed to a neighbor that she was Taylor's killer, and after she suffered a heart attack. Furthermore, Gibson had reportedly made similar comments in the early 1960s when she became hysterical after seeing a segment about Taylor's murder on TV. How do you think she reacted when she saw this hysterically?
Did she stamp her card and yell bingo?
No. Oh my God, I actually killed that guy. Oh God.
That's the last thing I needed in real life. Bingo.
That's funny. So fucking crazy. When Charlie Ross was kidnapped in 1847, his case caused a media storm as a result of the 4-year-old's family wealth, because there was a ransom. And I was debating on it because I read the most famous. I read a book called like the biggest crimes or whatever in American history, something like that. And they talked about the Lindbergh baby with cheese. And I don't know the Lindbergh baby. He was delicious in the oven. Albert Fish gave me the recipe, and
Good God.
I actually was doing, and the story is interesting, and I don't think a lot of people actually know it nowadays. Because I listened to like where it talked about which eventually I would love to get in the Ramses. It's talked about like all this, the main like Lizzie Borden might be an interesting one to eventually talk about, even though it's fairly well known. But I feel like now kids are becoming disconnected as they get. The younger kids don't know about some of these older stories that we were told as a kid as like folklore, even like stuff like Bloody Mary urban legends. I feel like they're not getting that exposure to that weird side of life anymore because they're too plugged in their phones and shit. That's what I believe. Like, you see these fucking kids
are still into weird shit. Everybody, I mean, like,
on the internet.
Yeah, but weird shit's always been weird shit.
Pokemon
like, I'm sure,
Go, man.
I'm sure there are people that are older than them, you know, their parents, their grandparents that are telling them this shit the same way that we learned about the older shit from our parents.
Most parents seem fucking jaded and all fucked up. You see them walk around with their eyes fucking open.
I think most people seem jaded and fucked up.
Yeah, it's true. So, however, after the months passed, there was still no news of little Ross. That was until police foiled a burglary in December 1974. They foiled a burger.
Would you rather foil a burglary or burgle a foilery?
I don't know. So the police unit, they foiled a burglary in December 1874, including professional criminals Bill Mosher and Joe Douglas. I've heard the name Joe Moser or Bill Moser, I feel like, but
are you just mixing it up with Scott Mosier because you're a giant Kevin Smith fan?
That's probably right. While Mosher died at the scene, Douglas survived the shootout. Oh, fucking Douglas, man. Douglas is back, the bunny man. Douglas, the bunny man's coming to get you.
What are you doing?
Oh, man. That has like a giant amount of fucking downloads on it. I don't know why people were so interested by Easter.
Douglas, who the fuck else has an Easter episode? No one.
I know, this is true. And we'll be coming and there will be Halloween special, and we're talking in works to do Halloween live special for everyone out there listening to this prior. Be sure to keep your ears open for that on the Instagram on Strange Brew Podcast, because hopefully it'll be me, Aaron, Billy, and Anton. All four of us.
Sweet.
Would be fun. And so it's pretty crazy. So obviously, like they caught up with these burglars. And, Douglas was still alive after a fucking shootout. Pew, pew. But this is like the late 1800s. So they're just stuffing fucking little balls and handguns. Stupid.
Wait a minute. I need to reload. Oh, shit. I dropped the ball.
That's pretty much how it would be. Douglas survived the shootout long enough to confess to the kidnap of Ross. The youngest brother, who was there and when he was abducted, was later taken to view the two criminals' bodies, and he confirmed that they indeed were the men who took his sibling. Unfortunately, Ross was never found, and nobody knows what happened to him. Nobody knows, man. Nobody knows, because know why?
I am very, very sneaky, sir.
They were sneaky.
The sneakiest.
And well, I think he survived long enough to confess, right? So.
This is the place where the dead speak.
You know what they say? You know what they say? Let me out of this fucking box!
Wait, what?
What are you, drunk? Drunk enough to kick your ass.
Roy Heath admitted to murder after police located human remains beneath the patio of his flat in London, England in 2010. At the time of his confession, Heath Ledger was terminally ill. Just joking. Sleep better than Heath Ledger under a dream catcher. Nice.
Okay. Whose lyric is that?
Diabolic. Roy Heath admitted murder after they found human remains under his apartment. That's what a flat is for everyone that's not from that area.
Why? Why do you bury the remains at your fucking house?
Gacy did it.
Why?
Because he wants to dream about the little boys, man. He's
like, that's something serious. Yeah, I guess if you're 32 fucking bodies, sure, but one, and you're like, in the house.
And I want to get into it eventually, but you think Gacy just liked thinking about like when he's sleeping that they were underneath him, so to speak? Like, do you think
that either that or like he was just like, if they're here, then I know that they're here, and no one's gonna find them because you have to come in here. Like, I don't know.
That's true. That's actually good. And that's not going to be for a while because, like I said, we're slowly just leading up. We might be 35, 36 by the time we actually get into like Gacy.
For all of you out there, we'll be dead.
Yeah. Because there's so many serial killers to get to first in the succession of years at least. So Heath was terminally ill, and he was actually resident at a hospice. Nonetheless, when police asked him about the skeleton, he admitted to strangling a man to death 12 years prior.
When police
That's an intimate way to go.
He said, "You found my Halloween decorations."
Yeah, that'd be fun. That is, that's pretty fucked up. Maybe like, and that's very intimate. Strangling is very like an intimate way to murder somebody.
Yeah, it's up close and personal for sure.
That's how I'll kill Billy.
You're gonna face him like this, or you're gonna like behind with the rope like you're a mafioso.
I feel like I gotta face him and look him in the eyes as I do it. It'll be like when I'm about to die, my hands will be really brittle, so it'll take a long time because I'm like, you're going out with me.
You're just not actually strangling him at all. You think you are, and he's just like, just punching you. And you're like,
all this shit.
And then you both just fall over and poop yourselves.
And die because we're exerted.
No, you didn't die. You're both just dumb and you fucking pooped yourselves. And then you wake up and you're like, ah. And then you go back at it and you keep trying it. And that's how you guys spend eternity. It's just trying to kill each other.
Heath named the man as Iraq-born Mohammed Taki. Muhammad Taki, who had been last seen at the doctor's appointment in January 1998. Police located his remains beneath the layer of concrete at Heath's home, following a tip off. And unfortunately, though, the killer was never brought to justice as he died 13 days after his confession.
Did he give a motive?
He didn't say shit really why he like murdered him. And this, I don't know, this guy sounds like a white guy murdering an Iraq guy. So he's like, you bombed the fucking 2 towers. It's like, no, that was Bush, man. That was Bush.
Huh.
Fucking weird, eh? If you don't want to look up Roy Heath, you can see if he killed him. But you know what? You know what we always say?
Well, sometimes that is better.
Yes, indeed.
What is happening out there with Charles? He's yelling at me. So in November, you said you have some stuff you've looked up, or do you have any sneaky ones to sneak in?
I do have a handful of, none of them really that good though. I couldn't come across anything that was like, wow, this is great. And a lot of the pages that I looked at just claimed that they were Deathbed Confessions, and they're not. Let me find. Hang on.
No, it is weird. You don't have to. I got tons of them, bro. I got lots of Deathbed Confessions, and I try to look for the strangest ones you could say.
Same. You keep going then.
I myself am strange and unusual.
In November 2008, Sharon Diane Crawford. What's up, Mike? Mike's in the chat. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Christ. In November 2008, Sharon Diane Crawford Smith. Man, that is a fucking mouthful. This is my wife, Sharon Diane Crawford Smith. The second, third cousin removed. Admitted to killing 2 of her ice cream store coworkers 40 years prior. The woman, Constance Smooths Hervana. What is with these fucking names? This woman is Diane Crawford Smith, and she killed Constance Smooths Hervanier.
It's because only one of them was allowed to have the most ridiculous name.
And Caroline Hervanier Perry. So obviously there was...
There's a lot of hyphens. How many hyphens between the 3 of them?
There are no hyphens. I don't know if you would hyphen a hyphen.
Can you hyphen a hyphen, though? Do you think hyphens are hyphy?
Hyphy for the wifey. They were shot dead at their place of work in Stratton, Virginia. Stratton, whatever.
Sounds right.
Sir, Virginia. Home sweet Virginia. What's that Virginia song?
Are you mixing up fucking Country Roads and Home Sweet Home into a weird, just horrible medley?
But their murders would go unsolved for over 4 decades until Smith finally confessed to the crime. Smith had been dealing with kidney and heart problems when she confessed to the murders. She told cops that she had killed the 2 victims because they teased her for being gay. Anton, do you approve?
Of her murdering somebody because she was being teased? No.
Why not?
Because I think there are better ways of handling that than murder.
What are you, drunk? Drunk enough to kick your ass.
And murder you. For calling me gay. According to the police manuscript obtained by CNN in 2009, Smith said, "I was just pushed too far." As a result, she was subsequently charged with first-degree murder prior to her death in January 2009. So, like, they charged her with murder, but she died anyway.
Yep.
So it's a really good time to admit murder.
That's like when people are, like, posthumously convicted of things where they're like, yeah, you did it, even though you've been dead for 20 years. It's like, wait, what?
That's fucking stupid. Didn't somebody say that you're one of your friends that I swear way too much?
No, I don't think so.
You said somebody listened to the podcast said I swear like a fucking sailor.
Yeah, you do.
Don't you know I would never say the word fuck? I would never fucking ever fucking say that! Ever!
Stupid setup.
Was that joke worth it? Did it pay off?
Not really, but you did say that at one point. That
oh yeah, you're right. And
I feel like it was prior episodes.
Give me a break.
If you do go back and listen to even ones with me and like when me and Billy kind of started this shit, we were like hammered half the time. And when you're that drunk and stuff, you say fuck and like swear a lot.
Oh, I'm
in the
aware.
gaps of your like intelligence lacking.
Those aren't the episodes that he was talking about though. A lot of them were the ones that you and I did together. Also, this person is from New Jersey, so you swear a lot.
That's fucked.
A person in New Jersey's like, that guy says fuck a ton.
After Alice Mock accused Wayman Camille Jr. of rape in 1975, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison for the offense.
Oh, Wayman, you're Camille.
Yeah. According to Mock, Wayman, his name is Wayman Camille Jr. That's a name. These people got
every
crazy.
name in this story so far is just like, what the fuck?
Alice Mock.
I've never heard of Wayman. I've heard of Wayland, like Wayland Smithers, but Wayman?
No, Wayman, yeah.
Are you just saying Raymond with a lisp?
No, it's fucking Wayman.
No, I know. I'm saying the person that named the person. Like, I want to name my thumb Waymond.
Waymond.
Waymond. Are you saying Raymond? No, Waymond. Like, oh.
Have you like when
this is the birth certificate, ma'am? I'm marking a W on this, just so you know. Your child's gonna hate you. You're okay.
It's like when Ricky names his kid Hotel by accident. He puts like the name for Trailer Park Boys fans. He puts like he puts the where he lives. It's like at the hotel in the name, and then his location. He puts the actual name of his kid. His son on the birth certificate is named Hotel.
Oh my god,
I love fucking Trailer Park Boys. It got worse as it went, but it's still fucking fairly funny.
Yeah, once J-Rock left, I was kind of done.
He's also kind of a fucking weirdo prick asshole anyway.
What are you fucking talking about? He's a weirdo prick asshole. He seems like a really upstanding dude from everything I've heard.
There's something I heard about him recently when I was like, sketchy character.
I don't know, man. When you guys were having those wildfires, he personally paid to fucking get a bunch of people flown out.
Those wildfires were caused by drones. There's literally video footage that you can see. It's like, this is just controlled fire. So they use drones to control fire so we can burn stuff down. But this one's weird, man. Everything is, it's like the fucking shit in California. There was people that houses weren't burned down around, like rich people. And like, we had sprinklers. That's why our house didn't burn. But meanwhile, targeted places were burnt down. It's so they could burn out all the forests so no one can go out and live in the wilderness and actually live off the grid because they want you to come to the inner cities.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom has gone full unhinged.
So she did, according to Ma, Camille also robbed her. But on her deathbed, she had admitted that she had invited Camille, or Wayman Camille, into her apartment and actually robbed him once he passed.
Wayman, come help mommy in the kitchen, Wayman.
And they're turning the fucking frogs gay. Fuck. Before passing, Mock revealed the true story to her neighbor. Mock only made the claim because she didn't want her landlord to know that she had invited a black man into her apartment. I'm sorry, but I could have I could tell by the name. I guess I could see a white man with the name Wayman. I could see it. Wayne.
# cancel Strange Brew podcast.
Shit, that's why I need Mike. Come on the podcast and I can make jokes.
That is the last thing that we're gonna get canceled for. There's a fucking million other that are.
That's why Billy, when Alex is always on, he's like, I like when Alex is on. I can say the N-word. I was like, no, you can't. Just because he's right beside you doesn't mean that you can say it.
I want to see it where he keeps saying it and he just gets fucking punched or slapped every time. Like not even a full punch, just a back of the head like slap every time.
Yeah, just as a joke.
Love dog.
We'll put this out there. I said it once in this entire podcast. Let me know if you find the episode. I know what one it is. So if you could find it, and I'm surprised I didn't edit it out, but I think I said I kept it because it wasn't a funny joke. Let's see if you can find it somewhere. I'm not Joe Rogan. I didn't say it like 70 times. I said it once on one episode. And
It's the shittiest game of Where's Waldo you'll ever
yeah,
play.
it's true. Just go back and you'll find it if you listen far enough back. She also didn't want Wayman to know he had taken money from her. Or from him, I mean. So like she just didn't say anything, and she's like, this guy fucking raped me, even though she invited him over, robbed him, and then she was like, oh no, he raped me. And the thing is, it just shows that the whole theory, believe every woman. I should believe most of them if they have definitive proof.
I don't think that saying believe every fill in the pejorative is good for anything. No. I think you should believe what the evidence in front of you says. I don't think
this right here proves it. She's like, I robbed this guy, so I said that he raped me, and then he went in prison for 15 fucking years.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible, and that's not even an uncommon thing. I'm sure that happened more than it ever should have,
especially back in the day. With black men during certain times, because you would have the white woman lust for the black man, so to speak, especially during when you're getting out of the times where obviously when the slaves were freed, and then you go kind of forward history with no water fountain bullshit, all that stuff, right? And you have a woman that's messing around with like a black dude, and then she gets caught, and she actually maybe was falling for him, so she doesn't get, I feel like, murdered herself or targeted herself for abuse. She says that he raped her.
No,
I believe it happened a shitload.
No, there's numerous examples of that happening in history. And what's even worse is that it's not just so she doesn't get shot or murdered, but half the time it's just to save face publicly, because she would be shamed for it's
100%. It's so fucked. We live in a fucking
suck.
They do suck. After Mock's confession, Wayman was released from prison in 1987 after I think 15 years.
Please tell me the man got some sort of fucking compensation for this.
He got to enslave five white women.
He got to go kick her in the cunt just once, wearing cowboy boots, just a full on hoof in the front butt.
Yeah, it's true. That is bullshit. She just wanted some cocoa, everybody. In April 1957, fishermen located the remains of Willie Edmond, all these names, man, on the banks of Alabama River, 10 miles out from Montgomery.
Was he wrapped in a slicker and he had a hook for a hand? And, he was like, he had a whole bunch of notes that said, I know what you did last midsummer.
I want to go back, and I feel like it's worth a watch.
I got both of them. I got 1 and 2. I got them for $1 each at the flea market.
That's what I'm really trying to look for, is cheap movies. I bought like 4 over the weekend that I just bought like at a movie store. I'm trying to look for, and I'm going to make a huge collection. Chelsea thinks we don't need more shit, but I think I do. So I'm going to have a huge collection of horror movies and just keep building them over the years. And I always think of Scary Movie, and it's just like, I'm still alive. Okay, no problem. He's like wiping off his boot. It's fine, guys. And then he chucks the thing backwards and it fucking smokes him in the head.
Where's the foot? Do you want a copy of Red State?
No.
Oh.
We're going to do that for, would you want to do that for
we can. I have a copy of it. I just found out the other day that I guess the cheapest version of it online now is $75. So I'm like, ooh.
What?
Yeah. It flopped. It didn't do great. So I don't think that they made a bunch more DVDs. So they're probably all in the hands of collectors right now.
Strange.
I have a copy of Tusk somewhere. I can't remember where the fuck it is.
No, what we should do, that's got to be a commentary.
Tusk
for the Patreon.
Yeah.
Yes, that movie's fucked. A commentary and I think an Unreal review, because that movie is absolutely fucking.
I want to do an Unreal review of Red State, and I think we should release that around the same time we do a Waco episode.
Me and Billy have done a Waco. You forgot?
Another Waco episode. I think
we're gonna do another one.
Yeah.
Well, what else could we cover? That he didn't fuck the kids? Because he probably didn't. They probably.
No, I would be willing to bet that he definitely fucked the kids.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, a weird religious dude from Texas definitely fuck a bunch of kids.
Man,
he fucked an 80-year-old woman, dude.
Gaslighting. So did fucking Richard Ramirez.
He fucked a 78-year-old. Yeah, that's going to be your example of shining morality of why the ATF. Don't be wrong. The ATF did some really fucked up shit, and they shouldn't have gone in like they did, and they shouldn't have killed a bunch of kids. But the Koresh was.
Go back, listen to me and Billy's Waco episode on David Koresh. You know, because Vinny passes a whole song about him. It's interesting because he's like, I thought you were a good guy. The whole song's about I thought you were a good guy, but I heard about all the shit. Like, it's kind of fucky.
Yeah.
And also just to shut this out while we're talking about it, Patreon. Remember, people, we're gonna do some fun content for September and October. That's the whole plan. Is we're gonna have an Unreal review and commentary for both months for horror movies, specifically some fucked up horror movies, maybe some ones slightly newer, maybe some older shit. But we're gonna make sure when we do the commentaries, it's gonna be movies that you can get while you can watch over Prime or Netflix and stuff like that. So this fisherman, right? They located his remains, Willie Edwards, on the banks of Alabama, 10 miles out from Montgomery. He had been targeted by members of the Ku Klux Klan who claimed he had said something derogatory to a white woman. What do you think he said to a white woman?
No, that's the worst crime there is.
I know. And they could say whatever they want to a black man or a black woman or whatever, right? Willie Edwards. As a result, they drove him out into the countryside and forced him to jump off a bridge at gunpoint. But the horrific event of Edwards' death lived in the memory of a Klansman, Henry Alexander, apparently was wrecked with guilt for his part in the murder right up until his death, according to his widow, Diane. And weeks before Alexander's passing in 1992, the Klansman had apparently told his wife that he had mistakenly identified Edwards as the person who offended the white woman. As a result, he felt he was responsible for his fucking death.
We're not talking about somebody just pulling their dick out and wagging it at a woman here, but
Oh
it probably just
God.
something like, bitch, those fucking coattails are hideous. At least that's what I would be murdered for offending a woman. Like, ew, girl, no.
I want some sweet vanilla cake. I need some sweet vanilla. It is weird the fact that like he was just like, it's just a whole thing I've said before, right? That my law teacher really tried to drill in our skulls is like, man, they just like will point out the first black dude they see because it thinks it gives them comfort, but it really doesn't. Like where that little boy was 16 going to get candy, and then they arrested him because the guy thought that he shot his wife, and this is in Florida. And it's just like, and obviously back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, like 50s, like this shit happened rampant all the time.
Dude, it's not a portion of American history you really want to fucking like. Let's
change subjects.
Yeah, anyway,
Sightings.
so this episode got really shitty really quick.
What about this? Sightings of the Loch Ness Monster have dated back to the 16th century, but most obviously is the famous photographic evidence of the creature's existence comes from the 1930s. Like we said, if you go back and listen to that episode with that anti-Semite.
That's rude. Don't call him an anti-Semite. Call him a Nazi in the making.
Yeah, it's true. Should we say the context? At least I might just keep this in for the video. I don't know if we should keep the contents, but the context. But someone we did an episode with doesn't hold the same.
Someone we did an episode with has some very fucked up ideas on the way that the world works, and some things that they think didn't happen. And we're
not a fan.
Not okay with it at all.
Not okay with it. In 1933, well, as tourism to the area, obviously with the with interest of the Loch Ness Monster, it kind of in 1933 is really interest grew, as we've talked about, and we talked about the surgeon's photo in the Loch Ness Monster episode taken by Cornell Robert Wilson in 1934, captured the head of Nessie as the monster swam through the waters of Loch Ness. Wilson, a British surgeon, claimed he had been driving near Loch and saw something swimming at the point at which he stopped to take a picture, which he never wanted credit for the image, hence it being called the surgeon's photo. Until the 1990s, it was believed by many he captured actual proof of the monster's existence. But
you think he never wanted credit for the photo because he didn't want to be questioned because he knew it wouldn't hold up to questioning? He'd be like, I can't make up a fucking story on the fly like that. And anything I say is going to be far too specific. So they're going to know that I'm full of shit.
Yeah, I know, right? So, and these people come out of the wood, and they don't. And the thing is, what he saw the reaction to it when it first went out, like that looks fake, but people believe crazy shit, as we said before. This isn't to say there were skeptics. In 1984, Stuart Campbell assessed the picture and decided that whatever was on the surface of the water couldn't be more than 2 to 3 feet long, some sort of unexpected wildlife. Even Campbell was proven wrong. However, when Christian Serpling confessed at the end of his life that he perpetrated the hoax and had been a part of the fake photo creation, 90-year-old Splurling, that's what his name was
Splurling?
Christian Splurling. He's the one that confessed when he was 90 years old in 1994. And according to Splurling, he was in cahoots with his stepfather and Loch Ness Monster enthusiast, Marmaduke Wetherell.
I knew you were in cahoots with Marmaduke. Damn you, Marmaduke.
Marmaduke Wetherell. What a name in this episode. These names, man. As well as Wilson when he sent a toy submarine with an animal head attached to it to make it. They put it in the lock, and the picture was staged by Sperling and Wetherell, who then handed off to Wilson to give it credibility to the public, to present to the public. Is that fucking weird? I would like to believe that the Loch Ness Monster exists. I believe that the craziest shit exists. And because I just saw Nope recently, it's this whole thing of like, there is aliens in our ocean, for sure. I don't believe maybe they're in the sky the way that this movie portrayed. Who knows? I will never know because we don't know what aliens look like. But the fact that they are fucking aliens in our ocean. Like just like creatures, even the creatures we see, like fucking octopuses, this is, and stuff like that. It's like these creatures exist, like the craziest looking creatures exist at the bottom of our ocean, like nuts looking shit, like the fucking thing with the ball on his head.
The anglerfish is gonna be your like that's the craziest shit ever. Like
it's like fucking no, but there is like those. Just it is weird that we don't really understand the ocean as well as I think we think.
No,
now,
absolutely.
We have animals on the surface that we can more or less track rather than Bigfoot because he's out there.
Other than the deepest areas of the jungle, which are still unexplored.
Exactly, that's true because you get fucking murdered by things like fucking plants and animals, but the ocean is a fucking fantastical nuts thing.
That is like one of the ways you got like plants that just have poison barbs on them that you just accidentally bump it and you're like, oh, I'm dead now. Cool.
I was reading something about like looking up the episodes we should get into and stuff like that. Like there's crazy Venus flytrap like creatures that can like fucking almost like kill a man.
There's a ton of carnivorous plants. Yeah. Ones that like lure animals in, like those big ass, like cup looking ones that just have like the smell of rotting whatever.
So
and they lure scavengers in. Yeah, dude.
So
it's crazy.
Scary. I would not want to fuck with one of those things.
You accidentally kick the wrong fungus, spores go up and just done.
Like that thing from Little Shop of Horrors. I used to have one in my backyard.
Audrey 2.
That was called
Audrey 2 is the name of the plant.
I gotta rewatch that film. I'm not a fan of the music so much, but I enjoyed the film when I was a kid. It's like kind of like barbershop quartet.
It is, yeah. It's doo-woppy.
Doo-wop, doo-wop, doo-wop.
You see the original? Jack Nicholson?
Yes. What?
Yeah.
There's a one before Rick Moranis.
Yeah, it's a Roger Corman film. It's the one that it's based on.
Was it not?
Yeah, it became a play after the movie, yeah.
Because it was playing around the time that I saw. Oh, that's weird. It was playing in a theater around the same time that I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I wanted to go see it and couldn't make it. And I thought it would have been kind of fun to see that.
That's probably the original, or not the original. That's probably the Little Shop of Horrors, the Rick Moranis one that's being played. If it's being played alongside Rocky Horror,
no, like
they're both musicals.
A play. They actually were doing a play of.
Yeah, I've gotten to see Little Shop on stage. It was great.
Really? Mm-hmm. Rocky Horror Picture Show was fucking hilarious because they had the motherfuckers yell and shout at the audience.
Yeah, that's the shadow cast. That's the whole point.
Shit, like this is the most. When I was like there, I didn't realize that it was someone actually like placed in the crowd because there was like 3 people, and then when they started yelling out like "he sucks his cock" and like shit like that, I'm like Jesus Christ, and I was so stoned. So with my dad, I was killing myself laughing. Like, Jesus, this is fucked. But and then I realized Mom was like, yeah, they just put people in the crowd because she went and saw it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's a full experience.
Oh, yeah, it's a full experience. An alleged former CIA agent and military officer gave a shocking deathbed confession. in which he claimed to have seen living extraterrestrials in an alien spaceship secretly stored at the mysterious Air Force of Area 51. It's weird. He was sent to I'm someone who kind of believes it's just military equipment that they developed, maybe using alien technology, and they hold the alien somewhere fucking very different than what we think is I think the Dulce base is more likely to hold a bunch of aliens.
Then Area 51?
Craft.
I don't think anything is at Area 51 anymore. I think a lot of it was transferred to Hangar 18 after 51 kind of became known. Right, Patterson Air Force Base.
Yeah, because either way, there's this whole theory, right, that all like William Cooper style bullshit, right, that all the spaceships are like man-made, essentially. All the aircrafts are man-made. I do believe that they got their technology from aliens, and everyone there, industrial revolution, blah blah blah. But we went from all this shit 100 years. We have electric cars within 100 years. So go fuck yourself.
We had the technology to make electric running engines back then too. They were just suppressed. I don't know what it's not
the water fuel cell, motherfucker.
That's a different episode altogether, folks.
He was sent to Area 51 on a research mission to report back to President Dwight Eisenhower, who warned of an alien invasion. I actually wish I had his clip that play of his famous speech. President that I did actually like was Eisenhower. He warned us about the stuff that was coming and is now present in our day. He could have been but he was trying to, I think, even if he was shady in other forms, he was trying to tell us and warn us about the things that could be coming that he probably knew about, but said it cryptically.
Eisenhower?
You don't like Eisenhower? What was wrong with Eisenhower? I like the speech. It was nice.
I don't know enough about Eisenhower to have a proper thing, but I mean, from what I've heard, I like. He was
he was supposed to supposedly he did that deal with the aliens. They say to get the technology. They claim this, but also there's the claim that he just had a deal with them where they did they wanted peace and he agreed to it, and then other aliens showed up and talked to other forms of government that were necessarily more evil, and then he was like, "Oh shit, this is not going the way that I thought it was going to." So weird. The claims were made that in a video interview in which this 77-year-old man could be clearly seen but was not named. Of course, one of those they blank out his face, like, I worked at Area 51 for fucking 40 years, and one of those, or it's really cryptid where their voices they really distort it.
Where they do the shadow work over the
voice. Yeah, it sounds like that. UFO author Richard Dolan interviewed the man who said he was facing kidney failure. If the operation was unsuccessful, he may just only have months to live. He claimed he served in the U.S. Army and worked for the CIA and worked for the United States Air Force on Project Bluebeam in studies into UFOs, and Bluebeam will be coming down the road. I have definitely plans to get into that once we cover other things to bring us into that. His most shocking claim was he would have to be taken inside Area 51, or that he was taken inside Area 51 to see the variety of UFOs allegedly recovered by the U.S. military. These were said to include flying saucers, said to have crash landed at Roswell, New Mexico in July 1947.
I'm watching the flying saucers go around. It's dizzy.
And so who knows, right? Because we go back, let's do our Roswell episode, but they claim to have found bodies at the crash, and one female, one male, all that bullshit.
The indestructible ship fragments as well, the ones that you could bend them, burn them, all that shit, and they would just pop back into place.
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's weird in general.
I mean, you know me, I'm far more inclined to believe in aliens than I am in pretty much anything else. That's just that's always been my thing, though, is it's like, all right, I get it.
You act like that when we talked about the reptilians.
It's because the reptilians are just code word for anti-Semitism.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no.
It is. They've existed before David Icke said shit. The Orion Group and the Law of One, they never act like and say anything about even some sort of anti-Semitic Jewish
I get that, but I'm saying a lot of reptilian shit goes back to the Pez, and it's not.
Oh man, I wish I had boo this man.
No, but okay, I will give you that reptilian humanoids have existed throughout all of history. Like you have the Naga of in Asia and everything like that. So the idea of reptile style people has always gone back, but it could be, it could be reduced to chaos comp. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
You're such a hose hand. Yeah, well, take off. Take off.
Yeah, take off, you knob.
And Area 51 is heavily guarded by the U.S. Air Force. The base is deep in the Nevada desert.
Do you think it's a distraction at this point? I feel like that's
those guys just went there and partied out front of it. So stupid.
Well, they didn't get to the zone where you can't cross into. They would have all been either arrested or murdered.
That would have been fun to see.
That would have been hilarious. Did you ever see the mock-up that somebody did? Somebody made they like punched it into a simulator and they're like, this is what would happen. And they basically like set it up like it was, I think it ran on Arma 3 or something. And yeah, literally everyone is just dead.
And supposedly it's where they carry out tests of new aircraft technology.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People talk about like the black helicopters for a long time before they existed. Stuff like that, right? Or what's that fucking black plane?
The B-52 stealth.
Yeah, the stealth bomber, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that shit people were saying it existed.
Yeah, that's where they say that it was like thought up at. But that's also rumored to have been thought up at the Grove. So
yes, to bring that back, I'll listen to that episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the center of many alien theories, which allege they recovered obviously alien crafts that may have visited Earth and have stored them and tested them here. The conspiracy theories were compounded by the fact that the U.S. government did not acknowledge the base until 2013. Others theories that suggest aliens from the UFO crashed are obviously kept there as secret as well. And then so pretty crazy. So the man says in the video, President Dwight Eisenhower had warned of a threat of Earth being invaded. So he and his superior at the CIA were allowed to go inside Area 51 to report back to the president. He claimed there was a pair the pair were taken to the alleged S4 facility southwest of the Area 51. So it's not even on Area 51. It's near the area at a different location where they observed live extraterrestrials.
Ooh.
Author and UFO researcher Peter Robbins said of the account, "In my opinion, if I had to be confirmed by any relevance supporting the documentation, this moving and fascinating account does not qualify as authentic deathbed testimony from an individual who is convincingly claimed," this guy's fucking writing is horrible, "convincingly claims to have been a CIA operative deeply involved in the matter of a crash or recovered craft at one time between the agency and President Truman, supposedly. This guy is like fucking, maybe he just doesn't speak English. His name is Peter Robbins, so I'm assuming he does. They say that like, oh, he doesn't believe it's authentic. He actually does believe it is authentic and claims this guy was a CIA operative and that and that supposedly they had a deal even with Truman. And what we know about President Truman, he was kind of a dickhole. Like there's
two big old examples of why President Truman was a dickhole.
Two big examples?
Two big examples.
You like Truman?
No, I said there's two big examples of why Truman's an asshole.
Just tell me.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, let's just bomb fucking everything. And he was just known as like a frail, afraid, like kind of pussy, and like I've never once heard anyone praise Harry Truman. I've always heard he was just such a complete bastard. And I've heard that he was a racist and anti-Semite and was just a complete piece of shit. So the interview was filmed in 2013, but only released on Open Minds UFO website. This being discussed
most reputable of all
on UFO forums. It's not clear that the man even died after the recording. So fucking retarded. If you have any,
we should do for a Patreon. We should do a live stream Patreon where we just go and start trolling UFO boards.
That would be kind of fun. There's a lot of works in the Patreon watching scary videos. We've got so many things we're gonna do that. Like it's only $3 a month, and you'll get like this ridiculously fun content that like I'm more likely will be able to drink more, get more fucked up, like just do absolutely ridiculous fucking style episodes.
Yeah.
So. Another Geraldine.
Geraldine.
Oh no! What? Okay, end of the episode. I fucking did the same story twice.
I knew it.
Stoned as fuck when I did this.
I knew it. All right, one more hit for the road, folks.
Yes.
This has been a very stony episode, so I hope you guys got nice and toasted with us, because that's the best way to enjoy this one. Well, that's the best way to enjoy most of our episodes. Is
every episode gets stoned, because you got one in the works, right? This is delicious. Like, tastes so good. There's like Funk Master shit, and she's like, I'll get a hybrid. The chick at the store suggested. I was like, I'll try something else. I was like, I kind of want something. And she's like, this is a fun high, like, and it doesn't hit too harshly where you're like feeling retarded, because that's not what I'm into. I don't like feeling like I'm like just just bonked,
just completely like. Bleh.
You said you have one for the road.
No, I was saying take a hit for the road.
Oh, take a hit for the road.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll be back with other Deathbed Confessions down the road, maybe next year. There's a lot of episodes coming for Halloween, like a lot of fun stuff. I got plenty of fun episodes.
More wonderful urban legends and monsters and spookies and ghosts.
Monsters, spooky, ghosts, and specifically, I have to do it for Billy, but get ready for some sexy ghosts.
Oh, yes.
Sexual ghosts.
Sexual thrill. The sexual thrill.
Yeah,
I'm always down for some sexy ghosts.
We're going to see.
Getting that ghost BJ from Ghostbusters.
We have to see if maybe all three of us can do it, because for once it is a two-parter. So we'll have to do all three of us and do a sexy. It's sexual specters. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We will have a sexy ghost party.
Yes, and Halloween special will be out. There's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out. Subscribe to the Patreon. $3 a month. It's the best way to support us. Obviously, buy merch. You can slap our logo on a T-shirt. We have tons of fun merch, and some stuff is coming too, like that. So,
drinking game for this episode: chug a beer every time Tom mentions Patreon.
Yeah, I did 4 times.
4 or 5 times. Yeah, so that's why I said chug a beer.
Yeah. But I then gotta go back because they didn't see it at the beginning of the top, but. I got a plug, man. I got a plug, man. It's how you support us the best, and how we can actually develop more content, and pay off some of the shit that we've spent on this podcast. So yeah, it fucking helps out. It helps out. So Halloween's coming. Get fucking ready. I was wearing my Halloween shirt during this episode, but there's a lot of fun stuff coming.
Yes, coming like the stain on Tom's shoulder.
Yes. Everybody love everybody. And you know what? Everyone go fuck themselves.
Keep watching the skies. And hey, smoke weed every day.
Yes, you better.
I myself am strange and unusual.
All right. Everybody love everybody. We love you guys. You know what? Just stay strange, you fuckwads.
Hey, make sure you hose your head there, Ace.
Go check out House of Trash and fucking Anton at Vader _ the Daggett.
You know where to find me, people. If this is the first episode you're jumping in on, well, I mean, thanks for sticking with it, but you should probably jump back, check out some other stuff too.
Yes.
Goodbye. Why are you sorting by new? Why are you sorting by new?
Goodbye, like Hiroshima. Bye-bye.
Ooh, Harry Truman joke right there at the end. Nice. Nice.
Boom, boom.
Oh.
Just so bad. Bye-bye.